Today, we are doing a little Shannon in Paris, but I am not talking about this Paris. Instead, I am talking about this one. This is the Paris that I came to know and love over multiple trips to that beautiful, magical city. I probably spent just as much time admiring the effortlessly chic women as I did the art. So today we are going to be playing with some new makeup that I brought into my collection from a brand that I think epitomizes that aesthetic, and they were sent with love from Violette FR. I picked up one of her brand new lip nectars. I also have two of her eye paints. I am going to give you all the details on these beautiful items. We are going to attempt some looks that I pulled straight from the Violette FR website, and then I will wrap it up giving you my first impression of these newest items to my collection. Let's begin. So while many people have been raving about and picking up the new Bisou Balm, I am in my lip oil stain era and elected to pick up the Lip Nectar. This is an innovative, high shine, long wear lip stain that provides rich hydration and buildable, lasting color. There are 4 shades of this. I got mine in Betis, which is a rich, indulgent, warm berry shade borrowed from Bisou Balm. It is named for a traditional French candy. You can actually see where I had swatched it earlier and attempted to wipe it away, so clearly it does stain. But before we get into playing with that lip nectar, we are going to actually play with these 2 eye paints. These are Liquid Eyeshadow Liner. They retail for $32, and they are described as a richly pigmented liquid shadow and liner in a lightweight, buildable formula with crease-free all-day wear. There are 8 twinkling shades and 9 matte shades. I got one of each, both from the blue family. First up, let's talk about Ciel de Nuit. This is a matte night sky navy that is the first of Violette's almost black color portfolio. And then we have Bleu de Minuit, a twinkling midnight blue that is chic yet spicy. So I essentially want to do 2 looks today, one on each eye. And the first one is this simple sort of chic liner look using Ciel de Nuit. And then we're going to do this one that uses both of these shades. We are actually going to start with the liner look. And as a little bit of extra help, I am going to be using my Dieux Forever Winged Eye Masks today. This will be the first time that I'm really using them to create a winged eyeliner look. So I see them sort of as being my training wheels in this process. So let's go ahead and get the glasses off and the hair pinned back. I did full bangs today in honor of our French girl look. And once I pin these, who knows what's going to happen. I am going to take a little bit of my triple hyaluronic acid Beauty Pie Eye Serum, and I'm going to lay that down to place the eye masks on top of. I did not apply eyeshadow primer because I just sort of felt like for this kind of product that maybe it was better to not have anything laid down. I figured for this initial test, no eyeshadow primer, and then I can see how that does, how that wears throughout the day. We are starting out with the matte eye paint. I am going to start out seeing if I am able to apply a very, very thin line directly from the applicator. All of my lashes are about to turn blue. Okay, yes, that's an instant mistake. But you know what I'm going to do? I am, with what I have just laid down there, I'm going to just take that as a base and turn that into my line. This is the smallest pencil brush from Rapper. Okay, now getting out here into wing territory. Hold on. Okay, try to relax my eyes. And I feel like it's already dried down pretty well, guys, because there's a part in the middle here that I'm attempting to smudge out a bit more, and it does not want to do that. I am going to take some of this on the back of my hand. This is probably going to dry really quickly as well. And I'm going to take this angled liner brush, stamp into that. And now see if I can create more of sort of this straight line that I want to create coming out to this wing. And I'm literally just with my eye relaxed, drawing right over the fold. And that is already really dried down as well. Okay, see, can I pick some up off the back of my hand still? So I'm just going for it at this point. I feel like this wing is too big and too far out for me, but I really feel like at this point, I just don't have a choice but to just go all the way. Oh, Lord. You know, this is what Q-tips were made for, right? Putting a little bit more in the back of my hand. For this inner corner, I am going to grab this really, really tiny brush from Katie Jane Hughes, and I literally just like rolled it in the product like this. And yes, I am on the struggle bus. Whew, this is harder than it looks for me. That is dried down to the point where I really can't move it. Let's see if I can refine what I have down over here instead of just wiping it all off. I have another brush from KJH Spectrum. It is flat and has sort of a tip to it, and I am just dipping that into some micellar water. I don't even know if micellar water will take this off. It is, and it is enabling me to sharpen that line. Well, that's good to know. Got to take this off, guys, and see what happened here. Let's go up like this. I feel like for me, for a first go, that might be as good as I'm able to get. I know that doesn't sound very makeup expert of me, but you know, I am not a makeup artist. I am just a lowly makeup consumer and makeup lover, but I don't know. I feel like that's pretty good. I want to put a little bit more here in this inner corner. I'm terrified, but we're going to do it anyway. This time, instead of putting this onto the back of my hand where it immediately dries out, I am going to take my liner brush that is angled, and I'm just going to grab some of it directly off of the applicator and see if I can kind of, whoa, stamp some of this in. Wow, that goes much more deep and intense using this brush. And this brush is kind of messy. This brush has seen better days. This is a Sephora. I can see it now. It's a Sephora brush. I'm going to put a little bit more micellar water in the palm of my hand. Grab that brush and dip in right there. To start off on this eye over here, I am going to apply the shimmery one called Bleu de Minuit all over the lid, and then I think I'm going to go back with this on the lash line just to create more depth. Let's get some of that down. And I don't think it has to be terribly precise here because we are going to smudge it. So you can see there, it's sheared out pretty well. So I think you can kind of decide, do you want a more intensely shimmering look? You know, how much depth of color do you want? I think that if I were to do this again, I would use a different brush. I think that this was a little too small for what I was trying to achieve. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one off because we gotta know, like, is this a mess? Is this more of a mess than I thought? While we're letting that dry, I'm going to go and do complexion. Couldn't do it before, obviously, because I had the eye masks on, but I am going to try to do sort of a lighter, simpler look overall, fewer products on my face, because I do feel like that is a part of the French girl aesthetic as well. And so I have my Glossier Stretch Foundation, which creates sort of a dewier look, which I feel is important for this aesthetic. And get that worked in. Let's do some concealer. I have my Tower 28 Serum Concealer, so it is nice and hydrating, and I think I probably just added too much, but c'est la vie. Oh god, it's like my version of dad jokes, right? May need to add some concealer to my eyelids because on this one in particular, I can see, you know, the redness and the veins and all that kind of stuff that would usually be covered up with eyeshadow. Okay, let me do this to brighten this up a little bit in here. I think I'm going to add a little bit of concealer here. That is also probably way too much. Just using the sharper edge of that brush. So that's the madness we have going now. Let's go ahead and add some blush. I am going to use one of my Say Super Suede blushes, and of course I have this in 3 different shades. I am thinking that this bright fuchsia is not the one, which leaves us with Mia and Grazie, and I don't know, I'm sort of feeling this. Kind of want to concentrate this in here, towards the center of my face. This looks so weird. And I think that my blush is sticking a little bit on this foundation, but I overdid it a little bit knowing I was going to go in with powder after. I have my Givenchy Prisme Libre. This is the OG. That's more sort of the matte loose powder. Trying to make sure I don't apply too much because I definitely got too much in my cap. Here, let's start down here. So if you ever feel like you have gone too far on the blush, then you can just use your powder around the edges to sort of tone that down and make it look a little bit more natural. I am probably much more powdery than many a French girl, but we will use some setting spray to sort of bring down that powderiness. I am going to grab the first brush that I had used for liner over here. So this is the Refer 23. And I am going to go back in with this matte shade of blue that is a blue black. And I'm just putting some of that on the tip of this brush. And now let's see if I can just intensify this a bit at the base. I'm worried this liner brush is too big. Maybe I just shouldn't be as precious about it. If I were French, would I be this precious about it? No. Just kind of wiggling that into the lashes. And now that I have this on, I feel like the line on the outer edge is not right. Back with the micellar water into the palm and the brush that I've been using to do cleanup. Just wiping this away to match the liner that I just applied. I think that line is better. Oh, wow. That's a lot better. Holy cannolis, right? That's better. Whoa. The power of makeup. Whoa. I'm digging that. I want to go out. I mean, it's 11 a.m. on a Sunday, but I want to go out. This sounds counterintuitive, but hold on, I gotta get these out. This is just bugging the K-wrap out of me, okay? I feel like I can't really tell what I got going here. We are gonna go ahead and put on some of the lip nectar, and here's why. I actually did research on the best way to apply the lip nectar, and there is a process that is recommended. So let me take you through that. First up, you want to apply it on the bottom lip and then the top. Now, why it's important to apply on the bottom first, I have no idea, but who am I to argue with this incredibly stylish French woman? I'm not going to. I'm going to do exactly what she said. So let's do that first. So bottom lip. Uh-oh. Got too much of a harsh line over there, so. Okay. Step 1, check. Step 2, top lip. Okay, step 3, allow the color to bloom. So she says to wait up to 2 minutes to allow for this blooming process. And I thought this would be the perfect time to turn to mascara. So I am going to curl my lashes and get going on mascara. And yes, some of that eye paint is in my lashes over here. Yeah, it's over here too. So that is something to keep in mind. I don't know how this is going to affect mascara application. It is sort of causing some of them to stick together. I'm actually going to apply some of this blue eyeliner from Beauty Pie to the upper waterline. So let's do that. Nice. Okay, so we are going to say that the lip nectar has fully bloomed now. I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look that up. Does that mean that this is the ideal color now? I don't know. So now we go in for another layer to enhance the saturation, and I don't know that I'm going to do this everywhere. I just kind of focus in the middle. Do they look juicy? Do we have juicy lips? I think we do. Okay, well, that sets. We are going to do our mascara. So this is the Tower 28 mascara in black. And like I said, my lashes over here already have pigment on them. In fact, I'm struggling to put mascara on. So definitely something for you to keep in mind. Probably do need to be a little more careful than I was when you are applying this stuff. Stuff being the eye paint. Let's do a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes, just so this doesn't look as severe. This is my bottom lash mascara from Clinique. Okay, so I think we are going to do one more thing to finish up this look, and that is to wipe off the majority of this lip stain, because these eyes are quite intense, especially this one, and I feel like a bit of blush going on here, so there's a lot competing. And so I want to see what this looks like if I bring down a lot of the shininess here and we're just left with sort of a stained, blotted look. So let's do that. So I have patted pretty hard there, and you can see the stain that is left behind. That is a really nice stain on my lips. It looks really nice and even right now, which has been the problem that I've had with some other lip stain products that I have used, that the stain left behind was not uniform across my lips. Now, I just wiped this off, so there's no way to know if in, say, an hour or if after I eat, the stain starts to look a lot less even. But for now, I think that is an improvement to have removed sort of the shininess there. So these are our final looks for today. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video, and I am going to continue to play and practice with these products to see if I can get better at my winged eyeliner. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.